welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. My name is Cilla. Today we're going to be talking about collection obsession and something that is slowly sinking into my brain. I think I'm learning it, but let's just talk about it. First, we're going to go through the layouts that I completed, and then I completed another project, and then we'll show what leftovers are that I still have of my collection. This layout that you're seeing here is the first one that I completed with this collection, and it is featured in my themes on the 13th video. If I can remember, I will link that video so that if you want to see that process and watch that, you're more than welcome to do that. This video, my word, we're already starting out stellar. Anyway, this layout is it's very blocky. I wanted it to be blocky, and my math skills failed because I had convinced myself that two of these I thought I was going to do a stack of 8 anyway, and I realized, no, I don't want to do a stack of 8. I want to go this way with the finished meal, and then to show the different components of us making the meal. This happened recently, and anyway, my math skills completely failed me. This layout is about, my husband and I are trying to take so much the preservatives out of our diet, and so we're trying to eat at home more, to cook our meals, and to eat fresh as often as possible. Now, there are times that we are completely exhausted. He has a very demanding job. I have a demanding job. And there are times that we just give each other grace to be like, tonight we're not cooking. And we'll do something that that does have preservatives in it. We're just trying to get out as much as possible. So when we have energy and we feel good and we both feel like cooking, then we go for it. So this night we had a new recipe salmon dish that we tried. We tried I think it's called smashed instead of mashed, smashed broccoli. So we did that, and he also decided, because we decided we wanted to try to make bread, and this is our bread that we made, and then our smashed broccoli with the salmon, and it was a good meal. When we try a new recipe, we always think, there's things that we could do different. That's one of the things that we discuss. Would we add garlic to it? Would we do a little more less boiling of the balsamic vinegar? What are the things that we would try to tweak it to make it better? So when you follow the recipe for the smashed broccoli, one of the things what they said was to reduce the balsamic vinegar so that it was very syrupy. And that was too thick. I think I would have liked to have had a little bit runnier balsamic vinegar for the broccoli. Anyway, it was a good night. We do enjoy cooking together. So that's something that we've always enjoyed. This is just a little layout about us having breakfast together. We were having some croissants and my latte, and we've got my little butter here. My boys are not going to care one whit about my antique dishes that I love. I love these dishes, and every time I go to an antique store, I look for them. I've only ever seen them at antique stores. And what got me started buying them was actually an estate sale. So I have found them in the South. I have not found any up here up north so far. It's possible, I'm sure, but I have a lot, and if I see any more, I'm buying it. That's just how it is. That's just life. So I used a lot of chipboard on this layout, and I used the puffy stickers. They have these little tiny dots, so I went from small to large on my banner here, because I can't imagine where else in this world I'm going to use those tiny little dots. So I kind of used them like enamel dots. This is a layout about my goofy dogs fighting over the same ball. Now they each have a ball that's just like this, but you know, if one's playing with it, they've got to fight over it. And there's a whole story about why the ottoman is stacked on that chair. This was back in the winter, and Charlie is when she gets mad, she's going to make sure that we pay some way or another. So she had eaten the arm of this leather chair that is a family heirloom. It's my husband's dad's chair, and my husband was just completely heartbroken about it. Completely heartbroken. So we've got to have that arm recovered. So the ottoman was put in the chair to keep her from getting in the chair. We think she's over that, but we don't know. We're afraid to trust her. So this is an emotional layout. I don't mind talking about it now. There is a point in time that I could not have gotten through talking about this, but so my husband and I got married after a very long courtship. We got married in 2019. I was applying for jobs. I knew that we weren't ready to cohabitate at that time. We had already bought our house up here in New York, but you know, we had children still. They were in their senior year in school, so we were not quite ready. But I was applying for jobs and I was getting interviews. And then my husband had surgery in March, so it was the week before the world shut down when he had surgery. And I had, you know, stayed up there with him in Ontario while he was, you know, to help him out after post-surgery. And my flight was on Sunday of that week, and we were already getting rumblings of shortages in grocery stores, possibly not going to be able to fly home. You know, there was a lot of uncertainty about that. And I did make it home. I did fly home with no problems. We did not have to wear masks. And I get home, I go to work on Monday. By the end of day on Monday, we're told that we're going to have to start working from home. And this was March 15th or 16th. I'll have to look at a calendar to know for certain. And so we were told to come in Tuesday and pack up our stuff and basically just go home to start working. I just remember that it was before St. Patrick's Day. We didn't know, because we were told at that time that it was going to be 2 weeks. You know, 2 weeks, everybody's going to be fine, and we're going to bounce back from this. It's kind of what, you know, what my brain was processing, the information I was getting. You know, this is just going to be a couple of weeks. I'm sorry, you're going to hear my puppy walking through. And so we're married, thinking that we're going to see each other, you know, 2 to 3 times a month, and would be able to survive it. Hold on one second. I've got something going on here. I'm listening to the Apollo 13 flight press conference. It just broke in. Anyway, from 3 years ago, no less. Anyway, we did not get to see each other from March until September, and our anniversary, now this is our first anniversary, was in September. So Sean's flight to come into the States was very complicated because, you know, he could fly out of Toronto into the United States, but he couldn't drive the 1 hour across the border. So he flew to Chattanooga. I picked him up. And then we turned around and drove north with Kayla. So at this time we only had the one dog, and we spent the week together because there were some things that we, you know, needed to do at the house. It had been sitting empty this whole time. So that was, you know, there's a lot of emotion in this photos. It was Kayla's first long trip. It was the first time my husband and I had been together since March. It was a big deal. a very big deal. So, you know, I enjoy these moments, happy together, that it encapsulates what this layout is about. And I will journal, and there will probably be some hidden journaling added to this. I just made a little cluster here in this corner with stickers and one sticker brad. I used a brad here in Moments to make my O. I used another brad here, so I'm just trying to use the products I have. I used some chipboard, stickers, and I used fun foam to make my title have some dimension there. This layout is another little bit of an emotional one. It is a happy horizontal, as Janet has taught us long ago, and I just wish you could can you see her face? There's a whole mood there. So Grandpa had come down and visited us, and this is his bedding because he could not make it up the stairs, so he wanted to sleep on the couch, which they call a couch, the Chesterfield. He wanted to sleep on the Chesterfield. So after they left and he went back home, we had, you know, folded up his bedding and put it there at the end of the couch, and Charlie missed him. She loved Grandpa and Grandpa loved her. He thought she was the stuff, and she could smell him on his bedding, and she just has got this really just somber look on her face, and she's just cuddled up on his bedding, and it is the sweetest thing. I had posted this on Facebook, and I said, you know, she's missing Grandpa. Now, he had stayed with us before, and she had never done this. She had never done this until the last time that he came down. Of course, he's no longer with us. He's passed on. But this is just the sweetest thing, that she missed Grandpa and laid on his bedding. Okay, that is the end of the layouts. Now, if you were a counting person, you would have counted that I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layouts completed with this collection. 6 layouts. And I decided, I love the color scheme of this collection. So I decided, I have some people that just keep floating up in my mind, and I believe that when somebody keeps coming to mind, you need to reach out to them. You just do. That's just what I believe. So I've got these people that keep floating in my mind, and I wanted to send them a little hello. Hey, I'm thinking about you. So I decided to, because I had a 6x6 pad. It was one of the mega pads, and I thought, I'm going to, with my scraps and my 6x6 pad, I'm going to make some little note cards. And so that's what these are. They're just one-sided little note cards, and I'll show them to you. There's nothing earth-shattering about these. I used basically the same design on all of them and just repeated. And so I did this kind of in a batch. I did all my stamping, I did all my cutting, I did all my gluing, all at one time, so that it just went so much faster. We're almost to the end. I made 11 of these little note cards. I did some embossing, if you can see that. This paper has white core, so the embossing just kind of made that pop out, pop through, and you were able to really see the relief. And this is the last one. So I made the cards, and I made the layouts, and this, my friends, is what I have left over. If I can get my fingers to work. We're just going to drag it because I can't get it to pick up. Okay, so this is my 6x6 paper that I have left over. I went ahead and tore it all out because I thought I was going to use a lot more of it, but I used 15 pieces of 6x6 paper. I still have 33 left. These are the scraps I have. This is 6x6 scraps. This is my 12x12 scraps. And as a quick glance, I'm sure you can tell, I have very, very few scraps left. I only have one 12 by 12 piece of paper left. That's it. So this paper, now this is all I have left of this collection. There's no more paper. So this piece is going to go in my manufactured sorted papers under Cartabella. So that one's going to be put up. I did not intend, when I first got this collection out, I did not intend to use it all up. That was not my intent. But as I started using it, and I loved the color scheme, it was fun to work with, and I did the cards, I started thinking, okay, do I know what is enough? And the answer to that question is no. But this helped me to see that one collection is actually enough. I don't need 3. I don't need even 2. One collection is enough to play with. I don't need to just keep buying so many multiples. Now, in saying that, are there some papers I would like to have more of? There are 2 in this collection that I just loved to bits, and it would not hurt my feelings to have more of. These 2 designs. I love them. I love them. So once this is old and it starts going on sale, I will probably get a few more sheets of that. But you know what? I'm not going to own this entire collection again. That's enough. This is what I have left of my embellishments. So I did use some of my sticker brads. I used quite a bit of my chipboard, and I still have quite a bit left. I had a pack of die cuts, and I still have quite a bit left. This is some of the cut aparts that I had cut apart, and this is also more scraps from the 6x6. This is what I have left of my frames. So this is an inside of a frame, and this is an inside of a frame. I have 4 frames left. So, oh, and this is my puffy stickers. I used a few of those. Okay, that wraps up this collection for Collection Obsession. I am so very happy how this month has ended. I'm so happy. I feel very accomplished, that I'm learning something. I'm learning something about myself, and I got a lot done. I'm super happy about this. Okay, let's say goodbye. We are going to chat again soon. Bye-bye.